times in high school, and if you weren't one of my really, really good friends, you probably didn't know that. I worked at a Christian summer camp. I was the freshman Young Life Guys leader my senior year. So my works were great. There wasn't a whole lot of substance in my relationship with God. So going into college was really a make or break time in that relationship. It could have just completely prospered and been awesome, but I didn't let it. I chose to pursue the fraternity life. I just dove into sin. From the time I graduated through the fall semester, that's all I thought about was just partying. Partied every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. God wasn't even in the picture at that time. So I went home over Christmas break, and I really thought about that I had been to church every single Sunday my entire life. I hadn't missed a Sunday. But I hadn't been one time in the fall semester. And so I decided, I'm going to start going to church again because I want to feel good about myself again. So my way of doing that was I wasn't going to drink on Saturdays anymore. I had to stop drinking on Saturdays. I could only drink on Fridays. So first Friday back, I viewed that as I need to get twice as wasted tonight because I can't party tomorrow night. And I did that. I got really, really drunk that night. I woke up the next morning and I had a question burning in my head. I don't know why, but I did. And that question was, if I was laying in my bed, drunk, hungover, and Christ came back at that moment, the only sinless man to ever live, the only perfect guy to ever live, the guy that died for me and rose again, if he were to ask me to account for the time that he gave me, what was my answer going to be? What was I going to say to him? I couldn't get that out of my head, guys. I thought about that all day. And basically the conclusion I came to was that I would have just stared at him. I would have had no answer. I couldn't have said anything to him because I had lived entirely for myself. So that week, I went to Bible study after chapter, and I met a guy named Justin Brownlee. Man, this guy had wisdom. He put on a great Bible study. I learned a ton from it. And I just kind of started to build a relationship. But I didn't know he was involved with STUMO at all. And so that week, it was my first time to go to STUMO. And it just so happened to be the week that Justin Brownlee was speaking. So it was like, this guy is everywhere. I don't know what to do. But yeah, we just really built a relationship, and he provided fellowship and discipleship that I didn't have in the first semester. And kind of since I accepted Christ in my life, I think there's two really big changes that have happened. One is my attitude towards sin. Sin used to be something, I accepted Christ, so I'm good. I'm just going to pray a prayer after I do it. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be golden, Now, I hate that I ever thought like that. I absolutely hate the thought of thinking that way. Like, that's just abusing it, And one specific example of that is in the fall I signed up for this trip. It was a spring break trip to the Bahamas. It was all inclusive. We're going on a cruise. Alcohol is provided, rooms provided, everything, we got it. And I thought about that, and I thought about what good's going to come from this. I'm a new believer. There's going to be nobody there to help me. Am I going to grow or am I going to fall? And basically I came to the conclusion that even though I paid a ton of money to go on this trip, my relationship with God was way more important than that. And so I had to make the decision not to go. And even though I lost a lot of money, I was okay with that. And the other part of my life that I think changed a lot was my relationship towards others. And I hated the thought of me not sharing with them. I didn't want my friends, my fraternity brothers, I didn't want their blood on my hands. I wanted them to share the same relationship with God that I had. And because for me, that was the single best thing that's ever happened in my life. And for you guys, if there's any of you that haven't accepted Christ into your life, I would encourage you to talk to another believer because it's the best thing that you will ever do, I promise. And so there you go, guys.
Robert. Hey, like Robert,